Joe Holbrook here, the Cloud Tech Guy. Wanted to go through session 8 with you around the CBSA certification exam. Let's go ahead and talk about Ethereum development. So short module here, I just want to cover some of the facets that you want to prepare yourself for before taking this exam. When it comes to development in Ethereum, it's really important to understand the front end, the back end, the programming languages available, know what Solidity is, for example. We'll talk about MetaMask. I have some review questions, some other resources you could study as well. Now, with Ethereum, it's important to understand that there's several languages that are available. The main one you're going to likely use or developers are going to want to use is Solidity. You could also use Serpent and Mutant. Those are also valid options as well. As far as IDE environments, we have the Solidity browser. We have Ethereum Studio. Clients could be Geth, Ether, Parity, in the Ethereum wallet as well. Storage, IPFS, Swarm, and Storage. Now, MetaMask is a DApp browser. Mist is also used as well. For example, MetaMask is a plugin that you could add, for example, to your Chrome, and therefore you don't have to download the Ethereum blockchain. You can go ahead and submit it via the browser instead of going through a full download of the blockchain. There's test nets out there, for example, testnet, TestRPC. When it comes to the front end, it's important to understand that the front end could be developed based on whatever your developers are generally comfortable with and what they can integrate to the Ethereum platform. So some common capabilities that are typically utilized would be, of course, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. However, it certainly isn't limited to that. It's really more of a what is your developers really comfortable with. But the back end, you're going to definitely want to use Solidity in most cases. Serpent is available as well. Basically, you could download Solidity or compile it in your browser as well. So what is Solidity? Well, Solidity is a language behind Ethereum. It was designed specifically to be utilized with the EVMs. Now, this Ethereum-based application and smart contracts, when they're developed, they're written in Solidity. This was actually proposed by Gavin Wood in 2014. And if your developers are familiar with JavaScript and/or C, this should be a good manageable learning curve, I guess, is the way to look at it. When it comes to comparing, though, Solidity to like JavaScript, Solidity is an object-oriented language, just like C++ and C. JavaScript is based on HTML. Solidity is designed specifically for the Ethereum apps, and it runs only on the Ethereum blockchain. So once again, if you're going to write in Solidity, it's going to be for the Ethereum blockchain. Now, JavaScript, of course, your developers could use anywhere, however they so choose. And again, if you're going to write a front end, then this is a good approach. When it comes to APIs, JSON is a lightweight data interchange format. And once again, just make sure you understand what JSON is. It's basically a lightweight version of Java. And the goal is to have a lightweight approach for Web 2.0 applications. Now, when it comes to the Ethereum node, if you want to communicate to an Ethereum node, you want to use what's called the Web3.js library. And this is what's going to give that interface for the remote procedure calls. So let's go ahead and sum it up. JSON, again, is typically the API format that's used. Web3.js is a library that you need to use for interfacing for remote procedure calls. Now I'm over here at my Chrome browser. As you see, I have an extension called the MetaMask extension, and it's basically a browser extension. And one of the things you want to do is, of course, turn on and off when you need it. But if I want to go over here to MetaMask, you could see that I could download the Chrome extension, and also I could download the Brave browser. Now, if I go here to MetaMask and I kick it off, I simply, after I configure it, I could go and, of course, log into it. And when I log in, you could see that it basically shows I sent some transactions. It tells me the amount of Ether that is available, which has gone down quite a bit, as folks may be aware of. But with that said, I go over here. I have the ability to send transactions. And then I could also, if I have tokens that I want to add, I could do that. And then I go over here to buy additional Ether if I so choose. And then if I go here, you could see that I could copy my address. I could view the account on Etherscan. This is just one of the tools that you could use with working with Ethereum if you so choose. So once again, go to MetaMask. If you don't know what MetaMask is, I encourage you to take a look at it. This is really a tool that you would want to use, of course, if you don't want to download the full blockchain on Ethereum and you want to go ahead and validate your smart contracts or dApps, essentially. And they have a good video here as well. So MetaMask is just one of the several tools you want to go ahead and get yourself familiar with before you take the Certified Blockchain Solutions Architect examination. All right, let's go ahead and test our knowledge here. When it comes to Solidity Programming, is it similar to Perl, for example? No, it's not similar to Perl at all. Remember, it's very similar to, example, JavaScript or C. When it comes to talking to an Ethereum node from inside a JavaScript application, you want to use what interface? Well, that interface is well, actually, that not interface, I should say, but that plugin basically is web3.js. Again, that's a JavaScript interface plugin, I guess you would call it, that you could use. And then we have basically which ones are dApp browsers. MetaMask and Mist are two dApp browsers that can be used. We talked about MetaMask. If you're not familiar with what Mist is, or Swarm or Serpent, I encourage you to go take some time to prepare yourself. You could expect a question or two on one of those as well. Now, when you're taking the exam, here's a link here. Remember, the exam is 70 questions, $300, so prepare yourself accordingly. I do have practice questions as well on Udemy. Here is the link for that as well. Now, I do hold sessions online if you want to join as well. And I do have a new Hyperledger Fabric course on Pearson. I encourage you to join Pearson Safari. It's a great platform. You're able to basically subscribe to Safari for a month or a year. It's very cost effective, and you get to take any course, read any book, etc. in the library. What's unique about Pearson is they not only have recorded courses, but live courses that are anywhere from 2 to 8 hours long. And one of those courses will be the CBSA as well down the road. Thank you for joining. Any questions, reach out. Have a great day.